In this video, I want to give you the most basic 3-step formula for curing approach anxiety that you will ever need. You don't even need to write it down. You'll just remember it because it's so simple. I call it the 3 C's, right? And what it comes down to is that most men who have approach anxiety, they think that they have to be confident in order to approach girls that they're attracted to in public. They think that they have to be confident first, because it takes confidence to approach, a woman in the street, in public, that they're attracted to and express that attraction or to flirt with them or whatever. But the thing is, if you have approach anxiety, if you've never really done it before, or you haven't done it very much, you don't have confidence. If you have approach anxiety, then you don't have confidence. So how the hell are you supposed to develop confidence if you have never done something? Confidence doesn't just come out of thin air, which is why if you have approach anxiety, the only way to actually cure it, to actually resolve it, is to practice. It's just like anything else. And that is scary. I'm not going to sugarcoat that for you. There's no real other way to actually, to fix approach anxiety, but actually doing it. You can learn all of the tips and tricks and sort of techniques and strategies and mindset stuff is really important, which is a lot of what I'm talking about on this channel. Why approaching girls in public is not creepy, why it's not weird, how to do it so it's not creepy, how to do it so it's not weird, different, scenarios and case examples so I can explain to you and prove to you the correct ways to do it, and that when you do it, it's not creepy or weird, it's not scary, it actually goes really, really well. But you still actually have to do it. And if you haven't done it before, you're not going to be confident. But this 3-step formula, right, is that most guys think that they have to be confident first. And that's the wrong way to think about it. Confidence does not come first. What has to come first is courage. I'm sorry if that's not the news that you want to hear. There's no other way of curing approach anxiety than actually facing your fear of doing it and doing it. Courage. But when you actually think about it, if you act courageously, which do you think is more sexy to women? Confidence or courage? Think about it, in sort of like through a historical context. You're in the village with your family, with your tribe, and the Huns, come riding over the hills to rape and murder your whole family. Do you think you're going to have confidence in that scenario to actually protect your family and your tribe? Fuck no, man. Who has the kind of confidence to do that sort of thing? So do you think confidence is what really matters? What really matters in that moment, to a woman, to your wife, to your family, to your tribe, to your community, is whether you can see the Huns riding over the hill and you are filled with the fear of extinction and you fucking ride out there and fight them anyway. Courage. Courage is infinitely more sexy than confidence. If you start approaching girls and you haven't done it before, it requires courage to do it. And if you keep doing that consistently, so courage plus consistency, that equals confidence. I call this 3-step formula the 3 C's. It's really fucking simple. You don't have to write it down. You'll remember it forever because it's just like the most basic and effective, realistic formula for curing approach anxiety that exists. Yeah, you approach a woman once for the first time and you've never done it before, that requires courage. You're still not going to be confident in the next one. But I tell you, you will be a little bit more confident, just like, when you first go to the gym for the first time ever, and you destroy your body in the gym, you're not going to be that much stronger the next time. It doesn't happen that quickly, but you'll be a little bit stronger. Okay, and then you do it again. You go back to the gym again. And even after a few weeks of going to the gym regularly, you notice that you're just that little bit less weak. You know, you're just that little bit more fit, whatever your goals are. It's the exact same thing with curing approach anxiety. You have to get over the fear of rejection, the fear of social humiliation, whatever fears you have. That's why courage is what moves the needle. So courage plus consistency equals confidence. If you can act courageously, and you can act courageously consistently, you will develop confidence. And then when you actually have confidence, you don't have to really worry about being courageous. So what I was saying before about what's more sexy, courage or confidence, well, man, if you get yourself into a situation within yourself where you don't even need courage to approach a girl that you're attracted to in public because you're actually so confident, well, man, that's a really, really fucking great problem to have. You know, if you actually start having girls saying to you, you seem so confident, you must do this all the time. If you actually start getting those kinds of shit tests, well, fuck, man, would you rather have those kinds of shit tests, which is obviously coming from the perspective, a girl's perspective, that you're obviously really confident, you obviously must spend lots of time interacting with hot girls. She's already clocking you, right, as an attractive man, as a man that is clearly going to be spending a lot of time interacting with hot girls and having lots of girls desiring you. So she's shit testing you to see what kind of man you actually are. That's a way, way more preferable situation than being scared of approaching. Right? So whether it's courage or it's confidence, either way you win in this situation. Because if you have the confidence to approach a girl without fear, then when she throws a shit test at you, you're not going to care at all. It's just going to be fun, and it's going to be funny. You just laugh it off, ignore it, agree and amplify it, you know, blow it out of proportion, just deflect it. Fuck, I don't know, just like laugh, you know. Say something like, if she says, I bet you say that to all the girls, say something like, well, only the ones that, you know, it's really worth saying it to, or something like that. You have to move the needle. When I say move the needle, there's no other way of curing approach anxiety except for courage. And if you do that consistently, then you will experience confidence in approaching girls. Courage plus consistency equals confidence. Leave a comment if that resonated. Leave a comment if you disagree. Leave a comment with your own experience. I'm curious to hear what your perspective is.